Many of the clips I use in this video are from this slime tutorial. Thank you to Poopy for your service. So in 5th grade, I went through a little phase where I was obsessed with Greek mythology. Not to brag, but I'm still a crazy huge Riot-verse fan. I'm real well versed on all the books, your Percy Jackson, Heroes of Olympus, Trials of Apollo, even Magnus Chase and the Kane Chronicles. So naturally, when two things I really enjoy, musicals and Greek mythology, come together, I'm always going to be 100% on board. And no, I'm not talking about the Percy Jackson Lightning Thief musical, but don't worry, that video is coming someday because, boy, do I have some thoughts on it. Instead, we're going to be talking about Hadestown. Hadestown is an amazing musical written by Anais Mitchell. It has no true dialogue and the whole show is performed through jazz and folk songs. It has some of the most beautiful, heartwarming, and tragic moments you'll ever witness. I watched it live when it toured a few years ago and was blown away by how such a simplistic story could be filled with so much emotion. Hadestown retells a classic Greek myth in a new, modern, and let's face it, fairly unfaithful way. However, the way it chooses to go about this adaptation makes the story feel completely new and fresh. So from the music to the performers to the tale itself, Hadestown is a brilliant retelling. Now let's take a trip to the world down below and see what makes this musical so unbelievably genius. In 2006, Hadestown premiered as a small concept album for the first time, then got produced and reworked into a stage musical in 2012. After having a short stint off Broadway in 2016, it finally went on Broadway in March of 2019, receiving high praise from critics and winning 8 Tonys. The original Broadway cast of Hadestown included Reeve Carney, Eva Noblezada, Andre de Shields, Amber Gray, Patrick Page, and many other superbly talented people. Hadestown is also currently still going strong with a new cast on Broadway, so if you've gotten this far into the video and haven't seen Hadestown yet, close your device, book yourself a trip to New York, watch this marvelous show, and then come back to finish the rest of the video. Or just watch a slime tutorial, but you didn't hear that from me. Because I'm about to get into the story breakdown section of the video, so spoilers incoming. Hadestown tells the story of Orpheus and Eurydice. For those of you that never really went through a Greek mythology stage in your life, here's the briefest summary of the Greek myth I can offer you. Orpheus was the son of a muse, which are Greek deities well versed in the arts. This, along with his immense passion and dedication to his craft, made him extremely gifted at music. He falls in love with a girl named Eurydice, and the two get married. But tragically on their wedding day, a snake bites Eurydice and she dies. Orpheus, refusing to accept her passing, marches straight down to the underworld, where all people who have died end up, and also where the god Hades lives. Orpheus plays his lyre, which kind of looks like this funky harp ukulele mix, and he sings. His music is so beautiful that the ferryman to the underworld takes him to the underworld, and the three-headed dog, Cerberus, lets him pass straight through the gates of the underworld, even though both of them are there to ensure living people can't get to the land of the dead. Orpheus meets Hades, and Hades' wife Persephone is so moved by his music that she begs Hades to let Eurydice go home with Orpheus and continue living. Hades lets Orpheus take Eurydice home on one condition. He must walk all the way home without looking back at her. She will be following him the whole way, but he has to trust that she is there and continue looking straight ahead the whole way, and if he looks back, she will return to the underworld and be stuck there forever. He agrees, and gets so close to succeeding, but at the very end of his journey, he can't help himself and he looks back, which sends her back to the underworld for good. That's pretty much the end of the tale. In the extended text, Orpheus eventually dies a painful death, meaning he ends up in the underworld again as a dead man and can finally live peacefully with Eurydice. So, I guess that's better? If you take this original tale I just shared with you and turn it into a musical, I feel like it would work perfectly. Our protagonist is a tortured, desperate musician, the world has some fantastic elements that would be fun to see come to life on stage, and the story is detailed with a strong plot and characters to stand on its own. But Anais Mitchell took a different approach to this story than one would expect, and that just makes it all the better. In Hadestown, while Orpheus is still most definitely the protagonist, several other characters serve equal importance to the narrative and have their own development throughout the show. Hadestown focuses on 2 love stories instead of just one, Orpheus and Eurydice, but also Hades and Persephone. Rather than being set in ancient Greece, Hadestown is set in some sort of industrial hell in a more unclear setting that's definitely up to the audience's interpretation. I remember walking into the theater and wondering, how are they going to show the snake biting Eurydice? How are they going to show Cerberus the three-headed dog? And how will they show off the power of the gods? But the answer is that they don't. While still fantastical, the world of Hadestown is far more grounded than the Greek myth it's adapting. And I actually like it better that way. The story of Hadestown goes like this. A poor young boy named Orpheus, who is mentored and cared for by the god Hermes, meets and falls in love with a poor girl named Eurydice. They live during a time of desolate, cold, difficult winter. But Orpheus is a musician, and he's in the process of writing a song so beautiful he believes he can make spring return. So Eurydice trusts that he can save them and falls in love with him as well. Meanwhile, the god Hades runs an underworld that's almost industry-like, with emotionless workers chanting and doing his bidding like slaves. His wife Persephone lives with him for half of the year, but goes up to the overworld for the other half because she enjoys the freedom. And when she comes to the surface world, the winter melts away and spring returns. After she leaves, she feels alone and unhappy in the underworld since Hades is so busy running his factory. And now that she is left, winter has returned, and Orpheus spends all his time working on his song, leaving no time for Eurydice, so she also feels helpless and alone. So Hades finds her and takes her to the underworld, promising her a better life there than the one she has now. When Orpheus finds out, he goes to the underworld to retrieve her. He finds her, and Persephone convinces Hades to let them go, along with the other workers that Hades had enslaved. Hades isn't willing to let them go until Orpheus finally sings the song he had been writing, which was so touching it reignites Hades and Persephone's love for each other. Hades lets them go, but keeps the condition. Orpheus cannot look back. And the same thing happens. Orpheus looks back when they've almost gotten home free, and Eurydice is sent back to the underworld for good. But the musical leaves you with the theme that they tell this tale over and over again in hopes that someday it will end differently. This show is beautiful. The symbolism everything in the world of Hadestown has is shocking. It shows how tragedy, history, and life are in a cycle that repeats itself until we learn. The relationships in this show mirror each other, with Orpheus and Hades, who are in love but absent and not focusing on the present, and Eurydice and Persephone, who want freedom, love, and hope. Orpheus is proof of how our quick, instinctual decisions can have long-term consequences. And Hades is proof of how people aren't flat-out evil. They can just make bad decisions, and the true mark of a good person is how willing they are to correct their mistakes. And the ending is even more devastating because they don't ever show Orpheus dying and joining her in the underworld, so they show it as if it's the last time he'll ever see her. While the story is simple, it can be dissected and talked about for hours. But unfortunately, I don't have hours to tell you about this, so I'm just going to move on to the character section of the video. Starting with Orpheus, our main protagonist, I have a lot to say about him. Something I feel should be established is that Orpheus isn't supposed to be super likable in the beginning of the musical. I haven't seen Jordan Fisher's performance, but based on how he played Evan Hansen, I can assume his version of Orpheus will be more charismatic and innocent, making audience feel very charmed in the very beginning. But if you want to see the whiny, annoying character Orpheus is supposed to be, we can look at Reeve Carney as a good example. That sounds so mean. I love you, Reeve, I swear. In the beginning of Hadestown, Orpheus is naive, he's innocent, but he's also kind of socially awkward. He doesn't know how to approach Eurydice at all, which leads to this iconic line. Come home with me. And even after he got with Eurydice, he's just completely careless with her. Like, my dude, your song's not going anywhere. Help your girlfriend find some dang food and firewood. Him being kind of dim-witted and bad at decision-making is what sets the whole story in motion in the first place. But the whole point of his character isn't that he's some smart genius, it's that he's a desperate man driven by love for Eurydice. So when he finds out Eurydice has been taken to the underworld, he drops everything and goes to get her immediately, doing anything and everything to find her and take her back home. But once again, because he tends to be bad at thinking quickly and reacting properly, he slips up again, looking back at Eurydice and condemning her to a life in the underworld. We're supposed to love Orpheus for his dedication and loyalty, but also pity him for the things he goes through. Even his voice is meant to bring home that idea. Orpheus sings in head voice or falsetto for pretty much the entire show, which conveys his innocence and childlike personality. Sing la, 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 la. If the actor portraying him does a good job, Orpheus shouldn't be 100% charming, 100% annoying, 100% anything. It's a tough acting job for sure. It's all about a balance, and that's what makes his character so iconic, loved, and complex. Moving on to Eurydice, I'm so happy with how her character is compared to the original Greek myth. In the Greek myth, her whole personality is that she is just perfect. Even after she dies, she's treated as if she's just some object that Orpheus is severely attached to and needs to go retrieve from the underworld. You could literally replace her with a potted plant, and the story wouldn't be that much different. In Hadestown, Eurydice is not perfect, which always makes for a much better character. She's faced with an extreme moral dilemma: stay with Orpheus and eventually die of hunger, or work for Hades and survive. Choosing Hades is symbolism for how people in the working world would rather choose survival over their own happiness. But the song Flowers is devastating because all she wants is peace, and we know she'll never get it. The only times she's ever happy are when Orpheus is on stage with her, which is beautiful, but it's just so sad. And when Orpheus looks back, she's not disappointed or angry, just sad that this will be the last exchange they ever have together. Next, we have Hermes. He's a super fun character. Hermes has always been my favorite Greek god, so I was super excited that he was a part of Hadestown. He's not too important to the main plot because he serves as a narrator and the bridge between the audience, overworld, and underworld. This makes so much sense, as in Greek mythology, he played the same role as a messenger god, so you couldn't just replace him with any other Greek god in the musical. I don't have that much to say about him. He serves his purpose, he has a really cool costume, and he has tons of great lines and memorable moments in the show. Persephone is a great character as well. She's meant to mirror Eurydice as a struggling woman in love. Her story is probably more interesting and rewarding than Eurydice's, though. She starts the show super happy and excited as she's in the overworld for the summer, making the world bright and fun. Then when she returns to the underworld, we see she's full of hate and anger towards Hades. And she stays like this until Orpheus sings his song for her, which makes her fall in love all over again, and now that she's finally happy, she convinces Hades to let them go. Persephone is strong, independent, and caring for others. In every song she's in, she acts a little different each time, from being a joyful party animal and living it up on top, to showing her resentment for her husband in Way Down Hadestown. From introducing the underworld as a place she longs to escape in Our Lady of the Underground, to questioning her husband's intentions and how long, to coming to terms with loving both Hades and the underworld in Epic 3, the arc her character goes on is so clear and interesting, and it's so genius. One tiny gripe I have with Persephone is something I don't usually notice in musicals, but this time it stood out to me. I don't really like her green Act 1 dress. It just looks so out of place compared to the color palette of the rest of the show. Her black dress in Act 2 is a much more welcome sight. I mean, seriously, did they really settle on barf green for her dress? Look at her and Hades in this photo and then in this photo, and I dare you to tell me that the green dress is better. Ugh. It's an issue that doesn't even have anything to do with the character, so I don't even know why I'm bringing it up, but it just bothers me at all. And since I'm doing my review, I might as well mention it. Finally, we have Hades. He's so cool, man. He mirrors Orpheus amazingly. While Orpheus sings in head voice, Hades has a super rich bass voice. It's so charming and awesome. Both Orpheus and Hades are absent lovers focused on their work. But while Orpheus tries to see the good in the world, Hades doesn't care to. He commits some evil deeds like enslaving people to work for him and giving Orpheus and Eurydice their ultimatum at the end of the show. But what he really wants is love, and Orpheus gives that back to him by the end. Hades shows that there's always some good in the bad. He's cold and calculated, and that's why he works as a great antagonist in the show. I feel like I'm forgetting characters. But who? Oh yeah, the Fates! I mean, they're cool, their harmonies are hauntingly beautiful, and they add some extra spice in the show and the underworld. They make the show better, so I'm glad that they're there, but they're not really that interesting to me otherwise, so, I mean, what else can I say? I also want to briefly talk about the tech stuff going on because, man, it's cool. For starters, of all the shows I've seen, this one might be the one to utilize the turntable the most. I mean, look at that. Jeez Louise, whoever plays Orpheus is really getting their steps in for sure. Also, there's an elevator on stage, which is so freaking awesome, and the audience always gawks whenever it's used. The song Wait For Me brings down these chandelier-looking things, and this video doesn't do it justice because the choreography with which they're used and the way these look in real life is just breathtaking. And I mean, just look at that. Wow. La la la.
la la.
If I could dissect each song in the musical and break down what makes each of them brilliant, I would. But I can't, so the next few minutes of the video are just going to be me commentating on my favorite musical moments in the show. Let's do this. Road to Hell is the opening number in the show, and Hermes, full of hope and life and excitement, introduces the story the audience is about to witness, saying, and after Orpheus looks back and Eurydice disappears forever, a now saddened, grief-stricken Hermes looks down at Orpheus with pity and repeats this.
It's an old song. It's an old tale from way back when. It's an old song. And that is how it ends.
The second song is called Any Way the Wind Blows. The beginning sounds really pretty. I think it really reels the audience in for the story that's about to unfold, especially after Road to Hell sets up the scenarios and characters really well. The songs Living It Up on Top and Way Down Hadestown do a lot to further establish Persephone and Hermes. They depict how upbeat they can be and how they thrive on encouraging people and having fun in the above world. They also show how people living in the above world can view them as likable, charming, and fun. The song All I've Ever Known is when Eurydice truly finally falls in love with Orpheus. And this song is just so beautiful. Just listen.
All I know is you're someone I have always known, and I don't even know you now. I wanna hold you close. I don't wanna ever have to let you go. Suddenly the sunlight, bright and warm. Suddenly I'm holding the world in arms.
We're finally introduced to the underworld and the workers in the song Chant. The way the workers sing in unison and the sound effects they make with their voice make them sound almost mechanical and definitely super hard at work for Hades. I don't know, it's a really cool effect.
Oh, keep your head low. Oh, you gotta keep your head low. If you wanna keep your head oh, you gotta keep your head low.
The next few seconds of the video are dedicated to the Fates. I didn't talk about them that much in this video, but I just wanted to highlight how beautiful they sound, how well they blend with each other, and how every word they sing is gripping and has you on the edge of your seat.
What you gonna do when the chips are down? Now that the chips are down. What you gonna do when the chips are down? Now the chips are down. Why the struggle? Why the strain? Why make trouble? Why make scenes? It ain't no use. So why get wet? Why break a sweat? Why waste your precious breath? Nothing changes. Nothing changes. Nothing changes.
The deep, rich bass voice of Hades is one of the highlights of the show, and I think it's especially incredible in the song Why We Build the Wall. The way this song is structured is super unique. I won't play the whole thing, but basically Hades will ask his slaves a question, and they'll answer in unison as if they're answering with what they've been forced to believe, and the whole thing just keeps building all the way up till the climax.
How does the wall keep us free? My children, how does the wall keep us free?
How does the wall keep us free? The wall keeps out the enemy, and we build the wall to keep us free. That's why we build the wall. We build the wall to keep us
while we're on the subject of Hades, look at the range that he has to have with all of his co-stars. First, in the song Hey Little Songbird with Eurydice.
Hey, little songbird, cat got your tongue. Always a pity for one so pretty and young. When poverty comes to clip your wings and knock the wind right out of your lungs, ain't nobody sings on empty.
Strange is the call of this strange man. I wanna fly down and feed at him.
And then in the song How Long with Persephone.
How does the sun need a fit in the sky? It just burns like a fire in the pit of the sky. And the earth is a burn of a spit in the sky. How long? How long? How long?
By the way, How Long is a criminally underrated song. Listen to some of the rhymes in it.
In his chest, hit of his chest, spit in his chest.
Hit in my bed, hit on my bed, spit in my bed, hit in the sky, hit on the sky, spit in the sky.
It's super cool that Hadestown takes the time to acknowledge the unsung heroes that play the music every single night. Without them, there wouldn't be a show, and every instrumentalist gets a shout out by Persephone in the Act 2 opening, Our Lady of the Underground.
Brother, what's my name? My name is
Our Lady of the Upside Down.
If It's True might be the most lyrically powerful song in this show. As Orpheus realizes Eurydice came down to the underworld and willingly left him, he cries out in despair, losing hope and inadvertently giving hope to Hadestown's workers, as they begin to feel inspired by Orpheus's words to rebel against Hades. I'll show you the Jordan Fisher version because his voice is just unbelievable.
I ask you if it's true what they say. I'll be on my way. Tell me what to do. If it's true what they say.
Doubt Comes In is the song where Orpheus tries to take Eurydice back home. We watch him question his decision and Hades' motives, and watch him start to doubt that Eurydice is really behind him. Then Eurydice appears from the darkness, and the music becomes more hopeful as she encourages him to persevere and promises to follow him the whole way. In the climax of the song Wait For Me, Orpheus sings this proclamation with all the fierceness in his heart.
Come and wait for me. I hear the walls repeating, the falling of my feet, and it sounds like drumming. And I'm not alone. I hear the rocks and stones echo in my song. I'm coming.
And in Wait For Me reprise, Eurydice follows his lead and echoes his words back.
I'm coming, wait for me. I hear the walls repeating, the falling of our feet, and it sounds like drumming. And we are not alone. I hear the rocks and stones echoing our song. I'm coming.
The way all three epics, which are the moments in the show where we see Orpheus make progress in writing his song, build and eventually culminate into the powerhouse that is Epic 3, and where Hades finally breaks and we see a vulnerable side of him, is truly something else, and it's so powerful.
King of shadows, King of shades, la 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 la.
Down below and up above.
King of mortar,
We Raise Our Cups is the final song in the show, and it's super moving, especially as it's being sung to an audience that's still crying, still recovering from the shock of the ending. It's performed after the curtain call as a sort of epilogue, and it echoes the toast Orpheus made earlier in the show, honoring him and the loss he endured. It's also meant to be the parting goodbye to the audience.
Drink up, brothers, you know how. Cast a drop for Orpheus, wherever he is now.
To sum things up, Hadestown is an absolutely incredible musical. It's complex yet simple, interesting yet dull, happy yet sad. It gets a 10 out of 10 from me. If you can go see this on Broadway with the new and extremely talented members of the cast, go do that. You will not regret it. If you have seen it, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like and subscribe to be notified for more musical reviews because more are coming soon. On this channel, I also sing covers and original music, act, play the piano and guitar, and share musical moments, including my fairly new series, Broadway Battles. I hope you enjoyed hearing a teen talk about musicals. Thank you so much for watching.